Hi, my name is Alessandro Cangelosi and this is a very fast tips from cgcookie.com. On this video we will talk about the cloud simulation made with Reactor in 3ds Max 2010. Okay, let's start. I remove the grid using the G key from the keyboard and I check in the customize menu the unit setup and I go to centimeters and I start modeling a very fast uh, wall to simulate a wall from a room. And so let's choose 10 centimeters. The length we can use maybe 2 meters, and we have 5 meters for the length. Okay, let's move it a little. Okay, let's create, we can name it wall, and I create another box to make a window. Okay, like that, and we decide for 1 meter, maybe yes, 1 meter and 130 centimeters, and it's okay for 50 centimeters. Okay, let's select the wall. We can go in the compound objects. We choose Boolean and we pick the operand B. So we have the wall with the window. I can convert the mesh to editable poly, and now I can create a plane, and this plane will be our cloth behind the window, and it will be moved by the wind. Okay, let's create some objects to control the window, sorry, the cloth. So I make it like this and like this and this one. Okay, we'll use this box to maintain the cloth during the animation. Now we can make it with more detail. Okay, and let's go in the helpers, and maybe we can change a little. We can convert the poly, and we set we create from the helpers. We go in the reactor and we select a wind, and now we have to change the position. So I click on the A key, so we have the angle snap, and 90 and 90. So this is our wind, and we set it maybe to 20 centimeters for the moment, and we select the poly, and we add a reactor cloth modifier. So this plane will be a cloth for reactor, and then we can create a rigid body collection, and we have to insert all the rigid body for the collision and to control the cloth inside this collection. So I click on the add and I select the wall and the boxes. Okay, now we have to select the cloth collection. I create a cloth collection and I can pick our cloth. Okay, we can name it cloud, and we are ready to prepare the simulation. And for the moment it's better to set the wind speed to 0, and let's use maybe 500 frames. And now I save the scene. Okay, okay, now I can go in the utilities, and you can click on Reactor, and we are ready to check the first simulation. So I give the end frames as 500, and you can activate the update viewport so we can see the viewport's animation during the simulation. And 1 meters is 100 centimeters in 3ds Max, and collision tolerance for the moment 1. And let's create the first simulation, and it is asking if we want to create the simulation, because all the old animation will be removed, so it's okay for us, and we say yes. And as you can see, okay, we can stop it. As we can see, the cloud is falling down due to the gravity. Okay, we have to fix the cloud using these boxes. So we select the cloud, and we go in the Reactor Cloud modifiers, and we click on the plus button, and we select the subselection vertex, and I select this vertex, and I select the attach to rigid body constraint. Then I can select the attach to rigid body, and we can select the mesh, and we use this box. Okay, and now we can select this vertex, create a new constraint, and we make the selection for the second rigid body. Now I select this one, I create a new constraint, and I select this rigid body. Then I can select the final vertex, I can create a new constraint, and I can select the last box. Okay, let's go back in the perspective, and let's try again to create the simulation. And as you can see, we have the animation. We have to check this vertex, but as you can see, we have the right animation. Okay, okay, the first thing we can modify is the gravity, and we have minus something similar to 400 centimeters. To have a more realistic effects, we can go to minus around 9 meters. And now we have to check the cloud, and so I go there, and I go in the vertex, and let's check. This is the first one, the second one, the third one, and the first one is not attached, so I create another constraint, and I can make a fixed constraint, so we can exit. I can go back in the perspective, and we can try again the simulation, and as you can see, we have the right cloud. The last thing we can see is how to animate the wind, and you can see that I have the wind there, and we can modify maybe to 20 centimeters. Let's go back in the utility, let's create again the animation, and this is our wind, as you can see. But I prefer to have a not fixed wind, so we go back to the modify panel for the wind, and I set to on the perturbation speed, and let's try with the default value, I go back into the utilities, I click on create animation, and as you can see we have sometimes more wind, but if you like we can modify the variance. We can give, for example, 20, and we'll try to have a very high value for the wind. Let's create again the animation, and you can see that we have a very big wind. Okay, let's stop it. This is our animation for the moment. Let's go back in the cloud and let's check the we can set to on the avoid self-intersection, so the cloud cannot be can't have the self-intersection problems we saw there. This one, we can go back again before we can save the scene. We go back there and we can create the final animation, a very simple animation just to check how works the cloud simulation in Reactor. You can see that we have no more intersection. We have again a very big perturbation in the wind force, and maybe we can wait for more frames. Okay, let's stop it, and we have a good animation, but we have not so much phase, and the model is not so smooth. So we can go in the modify, and we can use a turbo smooth, and we can set it to 2, and let's check it, and it's not bad for a very fast cloud animation. Okay, that's all for the moment. I think we'll work more on cloud animation on a future tips, or maybe a complete tutorial. For the moment I can say thanks for all, and we'll see you very soon on a new tutorial. Bye.